Hey everybody, this is Brother Charlie, and you usually know me by the ministry of Restorers of the Altar, and I have something I want to share with you that God has put in my heart, and of an experience that I had many years ago that I was privileged and blessed, wind up really ministering to me a lot in the area concerning marriage. And as you know, society now is geared to dismantle marriage and the institution of marriage for couples, and the strength of the nation and the church is the family. And so, with that in mind, I wanted to share with you something that took place with me many years ago, that up to this day I've never forgotten it because of the fact that it happened during this time. And so I want to set the stage for you. I want to set up the stage for you in the manner that this happened, and I hope it'll bless you and minister to you. And maybe there's a marriage out there that is in real need of, for them to be restored and ministered to. And you just never know. People need encouragement in their marriage now, especially the way things are. In fact, ran into a young little boy and at the church, and they were bringing him to the church, and so he was a visitor as a little boy. So I asked him, "Are you ready for Christmas?" Because they were on their way out after service, and I just happened to run into the couple that had this little boy, and he nodded his head because, one, he didn't know me and who I was. And then number two, I said, "So what do you want for Christmas?" And he said, "A PlayStation 5. So those things are a few $100s. Never mind how mom and dad are going to get a hold of that, But there's that kind of a pressure, concerning finances. And as you know, that the number one cause for separation or divorce even in marriages are finances. And then it moves on into the other areas. So here's the story. Here's the account. What happened to me a few years ago. When I was attending another church, there was a particular couple that I would see walking in front of a four-way stop on a street, always walking. And I'll never forget them. They were kind of like in their late 30s, early 40s, and they both have backpacks. And so I would see them walk around a lot. And so once in a while, they would come by the church and they would ask for food. And of course, it was very limited what we could give them because, again, they're on the street. They have nowhere to go. I'm sure they have no way to cook and things like that. So it was very limited what we were able to help them with. And so, that being said, they would come by periodically. We wouldn't see them for a while, and then they would pop up all of a sudden. And then, at one time, I don't know how they knew that I lived at this house that I am presently in, but they knew. And they came and knocked on my door. And I was really shocked and surprised. I said, "Man, I wonder how they found out I was here or lived here." Because they would see me in the church, and they would give them food. So they asked me, they said, "Hey, do you have some water?" And it was hot at that time. It was really, really hot. I said, yeah, absolutely. So we gave them some water. Still had their backpacks, no vehicle, no nothing. They would walk around. And my wife proceeded to say, you know what? Ask them if they are hungry. Ask them if they want a bite to eat. So I did. I said, hey, are y'all hungry? They said, oh, yes, sir. Yes. I said, okay, well, hang on. We're going to get you something. And so we had them wait out there, and, they sat on the pavement. And so my wife fixed them, some sandwiches and chips and things like that, something to drink. And they were real happy with that, and real content, and they just very respectful, thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for giving us a bite to eat, and we're going to be on our way. And so they moved on. So I didn't see them. After that, I didn't see them for a while, not at church, not at my home, nowhere. And they were not hard to miss, because everywhere they go, they were together. They were always walking, and they had backpacks. They would sleep at the U-Haul trailers. At that time, they were all open. Now, because of the way society is, they all have a lock and key, so that's no longer feasible. So anyway, during the Christmas time, I'm at the church. It's at least 2-3 days before Christmas. And the phone rings, and there's nobody around, just me. And I answered it. And so there's this lady on the other end asking, can you pray for me? Can you say a prayer for me? I said, yes, sure, of course. No problem. Let's, is there anything we need to pray for? And she said, you don't remember me? I said, no, I don't recognize your voice. And then she proceeded to tell me who she was. And I said, oh, now I remember. I know who you are. I said, we haven't seen you in a while. And you're always with your husband. And so she said, well, that's why I'm praying. I'm asking prayer. I'm very lonely. And I'm depressed because my partner, meaning her husband, passed away. And he got very sick. He couldn't take care of him. And so he's not with me anymore. I'm by myself. And at that moment, I was kind of like, what kind of prayer can I pray? The partner she was with is gone now. I mean, what am I going to say? What am I going to pray? Some way, somehow, the Lord gave me the words to pray for her. And of course, she started weeping. And I said, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to call or come by the church. That's why we're here. She said, okay, sir. Thank you for your time. And when I got off the phone, I wept like a baby. I cried and I cried and I cried. Because I saw marriage for what it really is. There's no question in my mind that these people loved each other. Number one, she or he wasn't in it for the money. They had nowhere to live. They didn't even have a vehicle. And they were always begging for food. There was no way for them to cook or anything. No refrigerator. no nothing. So, to me, there was no question that they were in it because they simply loved each other. Period. That's all. No strings attached. No prenups. No, let's try it, and if it doesn't work out, you'll be on your way. Nothing like that. I got a bird's eye view of what marriage really is. Because nowadays it's what's in it for me. But talking to them and seeing them, there was nothing for them. The only thing that I can see in their life that kept them together is because they loved each other, regardless of material possessions, because they had none. So God gave me a good dose of what true marital commitment is. And so I wanted to share this with you in hopes that because of society and the way they're treating marriage, that people will marry not because of a prenup, not because there's kids involved, not because of anything else or material possessions. But it would be like this couple. We're in it having nothing in our name because we love each other, period. So I wanted to share that with you. Examine yourself like I did a few years ago. Boy, was that a wake-up call. Not that I neglected my wife or anything, but geez, I saw firsthand love without conditions. For real. It's one thing to read it from the Bible. It's quite another when you see it in real time. So I want to offer a word of prayer to you. If your marriage is in the brink, or maybe it's successful because things are going right, or if you have nothing but each other, will you still stick it out? Because this couple did it. They lived like that. That's why she wept during the time that she called for prayer, because her partner had gone away. She didn't say, he didn't leave me a will. She didn't say, he didn't leave me with no money. There was nothing. They only had each other. That was it. And like everything nowadays, it's got to have a price tag. You know, I'm in it for win it attitude. As far as a marriage. So, let me say a quick word of prayer. Father, I want to pray for marriages everywhere. That even in society now that is high gear in doing away marriage as we know it, straight from your word, that the thing that we need to remember, Father, is that you came for Christ so loved the church that he gave himself, not his benefits, not a way to heaven. He gave himself. And so, God, I pray for me and all of us that we would give ourselves as Christ loved the church and he gave himself for it. And that whether we are in abundance or lack or have lost it all, that we would be like this couple. They were in the relationship because of each other, no strings attached. May we follow that kind of an example, not maybe in the area or in the way they were living, but in principle. That as far as material possession, they had none, but they had each other. God, I pray that we will never forget that, ever. That we are in it for each other, in abundance or no abundance. And that our children will see the true value of love, commitment without conditions, just like your word says. I thank you for this moment. In Jesus' name, amen. If you would like to send your comments or suggestions, you can go to restorersofthealtar@gmail.com. You can go to my website, the same title, or you can follow us on YouTube, Restorers of the Altar, live stream prayer. And I pray this has been a blessing to you, and that you would share this far and wide, because there is no question that couples are hurting, and without wanting to, we can forget of why we were in the relationship to begin with. God bless you. Thank you for giving me an ear and to hear what the Lord has put in my heart. Until then, this is Brother Charlie signing off.